Hey guys, so the holidays are rolling around, and with that, a lot of you guys are ending up with a little bit more free time than usual. And some of you guys are looking to use that free time to jump back into the world of Lost Ark, back into Arcasia. And with that, I wanted to make a sort of a guide for you guys who are either A, potentially new players, or B, returning players, to give you the information on how to progress all the way up to the end game and some of the changes that have happened since you guys potentially have been gone. So let's jump right into it. So let's start from the beginning. I think that Lost Ark does a pretty good job of hand holding the player from the beginning of the game all the way up until a certain point in Tier 3. Probably around when you hit Punica, that's when things get a little bit more confusing because there's a little bit more nuance to the gearing. From the beginning till then, it pretty much is you start doing the story, you get to North Fern, you start doing your Chaos Dungeons, you start doing your Guardian Raids, and the nice thing about the Guardian Raids now is that they actually give you the battle items, I believe, all the way up until you're 1460. So you can actually just jump into those solo if you really wanted to and do those Guardian Raids. A lot of people aren't really at that point in the game anymore, so you're likely not going to be able to find any parties for Guardian Raids and Abyssal Dungeons and such. So I'd say just when you hit North Fern and you finish the kind of the beginning story, just do your Chaos Dungeons, do your daily Unas, and then do your Guardian Raids and just do all that solo. Don't really bother with the Abyssal Dungeons, don't bother with any of that stuff. You're not really going to be able to find parties for those, unfortunately. Just take your character from the beginning all the way to Vern, do your Chaos Dungeons, do your Guardian Raids, do your Unas, and then upgrade your gear from that all the way up until the point you're in Punica. Now, when you hit Punica, there have actually been some changes there, and this is going to be relevant for those of you guys who are returning to the game as well. So in Punica, it used to be Tier 3 there, and starts, Tier 3 started at around 1302, I believe. But now, instead of starting at 1302, it's going to start at 1250 gear score. So you're going to hit 1100 gear score, go to Punica, get your gear, and when you get your new gear from the Chaos Dungeons, that's going to bring you up to 1250 gear score. Now, it's the same as before. You're going to be doing Chaos Dungeons for your gear, and it hasn't changed much from there, right? Now, you're going to take that gear, and you're actually going to just upgrade that epic gear all the way up until 1415. Because in the past, what you did here instead was you actually went to Argos at, I believe, 1370 or 1375, right? I would say that's not really a necessary thing anymore because you can just upgrade your gear all the way up to 1415 now without getting that legendary gear from Argos. And also, there aren't too many Argos parties going around. Yes, if you get lucky, so finding somebody with a card running and they let you into the party, sure, go do Argos, use that Argos blood, turn it into legendary gear, or you can just dismantle it for honor leap stones. But for the most part, you don't really need to do Argos anymore. Just take your epic gear from Punica and upgrade it all the way to 1415. Now, you're at 1415 from that. You can now do Valtan. And Valtan is where you are going to be getting your first new set of gear, which is going to be your relic gear set. You're going to do Valtan, get some relic gears. From that, you're going to be able to upgrade your gear up to 1430 to start doing Vykas to get the rest of your relic gear. So Valtan's going to give you half your relic gear set, Vykas is going to give you your other half. And this is kind of where I'd say the game really begins. When you get your sets, your characters will start to feel stronger than ever before, and that's kind of when you start gearing up for the end game and your end game builds. Now, a lot of players will probably choose to buy buses here at Valtan Vykas, but there's also a good number of players now who are just doing like card runs and such. And because of that, as long as you learn how to do the mechanics of the raid, for the most part, you can make it through and you just get carried. Of course, if you get lucky, you might be able to find some folks who are doing learning runs, but that's definitely a bit few and far between. If you're looking to just make an efficient and fast growth up to the end game, I'd say you're probably just going to be joining in on a run where people are going to be busing you for money or maybe for free if you get lucky. But yeah, go ahead, do Vykas, Valtan Vykas, get your relic gears. At this point, you're going to be around 1430 item level. Now, If you want to learn how to do those raids, Valtan is pretty much the same as it was before at the beginning of the game when the game first came out, when Valtan first came out. But Vykas has changed pretty significantly. In Vykas, mainly they removed Gate 1. So now they only have the old Gate 2 and the old Gate 3. So Gate 1 is now the old Gate 2, and Gate 2 is now the old Gate 3. So if you're looking for guides on how to do Vykas, I'd recommend looking for guides on the old Gate 2 and the old Gate 3, just so there's no confusion there. Now, after that, you're going to, as usual, do your daily Chaos Dungeons, do your daily Guardian raids, do your daily Unas, weekly Unas, and start getting the materials to upgrade your character all the way up to 1475. Now, at 1475, you can do the next raid, which is Kakul-Saydon, Clown. And with Kakul-Saydon's defeating him, you will get the materials to upgrade your gear, your relic gear, from level 1 gear set to level 2 gear set. It doesn't change your item level, but it makes your gear stronger. It makes your relic effects stronger, your set effects stronger. Now, I'd say Clown is a bit optional these days because it doesn't really give you more item level or a new gear set. It just upgrades your current gear set. And with the changes that they made now, you don't need to upgrade to gear set level 2 to be able to upgrade to gear set level 3. You can just go from gear set level 1 to gear set level 3. So I'd say Clown is still an extremely fun raid, and I do it regularly on my characters, even though my characters are way beyond the level of being able to get gold from Clown. But if you want to be the most efficient, right, I'd say that you probably don't need to do it, but you just have to keep this in mind that if you're going to go into Brel without a level 2 gear set, you might get gate kept a bit harder than a person with a level 2 gear set. So just keep that in mind if you're going to skip Clown. But again, it isn't entirely required. So you can just keep upgrading your relic gear set and make it all the way to 1490 if you're just looking to zoom past, and make it to the most efficient route. Now, at 1490, that's where a lot of the changes happened. So 1490 is when you hit Brelshaza. And this raid has been overhauled a ton. Now, the big change here is that instead of getting your relic armor upgraded the next tier, right? So normally what you would do is you'd go from Vykas and Valtan relic armor to Brelshaza relic armor. Now, it is not the case anymore. You're going to upgrade your relic armor to ancient armor and weapon at this point. No more upper relics. So with this change now, it means that normal Brel and hard Brel actually give you the same materials to create your gear. So it's not really necessary to do Brelshaza hard mode anymore, unless you want to get the ancient accessories from that raid, of course, and then a higher quantity of mats and a bit more gold. But in general, if you don't want to do Brel hard anymore, you don't have to, because the gear that you get from Brel normal and Brel hard, at least the materials, not the gear, will be the exact same. Now, additionally, like Vykas, the gates in Brel have also changed. So Brelshaza used to be 6 gates, but they removed the old gate 2 and the old gate 5. And now the old gate 6 also, you only need to do it once every 2 weeks. So they removed gate 2, the old gate 2, the old gate 5, and gate 6 you only have to do once every 2 weeks now. So breaking it down by item level, right? At 1490 for normal and at 1540 for hard Brel, you are going to be doing gate 1 and gate 2. Now, gate 1 is still the same as old gate 1, but as I mentioned earlier, they got rid of gate 2, right? So now the current gate 2 is actually the old gate 3. So I'm going to repeat that again. Gate 1 is still the same as the old gate 1, but gate 2 is now the old gate 3. 1500 for normal and 1550 for hard is the requirement now for gate 3, which at the moment, the current gate 3 is the old gate 4. So again, 1500 for normal, 1550 for hard. The current gate 3 is now the old gate 4. And now, at 1520 for normal and 1560 for hard, you can do gate 4, which is the old gate 6. Again, the current gate 4 is the old gate 6. It's a bit confusing. There's a lot of changing pieces in there, but this is all just to help you so that if you're looking for guides for these gates, right? Look at the guide for the old gate 1, the old gate 3, the old gate 4, and the old gate 6. That way we just have no confusion there about like, oh shoot, I went into this, I looked at the guides, and one of the gates actually disappeared, or two of the gates disappeared, and I just got totally lost, right? So that's how you're going to look at the guides from for the current Brelshaza. Now, 1540 is the next point, right? While I did mention 1540 earlier for the hard Brel, there is a new raid at 1540 called Kayangel, and that is where you get your level 3 set. Remember earlier when I said that you can do clown if you wanted, but it only upgrades your gear set from level 1 to level 2? This now upgrades your gear set to level 3. And the reason why you could have skipped clown if you really wanted to is because now at Kayangel, you can take the materials you get from this raid to upgrade your gear level set 1 all the way up to gear level set 3. And you don't need to have that in between gear set 2 anymore. There have been some changes to this gate as well if you quit since then. They removed gate 1. So the big griffin, the big bird, they removed that gate. And now you only have the old gate 2, old gate 3, and old gate 4. So gate 1 is now old gate 2, gate 2 is now old gate 3, gate 3 is now old gate 4. Again, this is also that when you're looking for a guide, you just have to look at guides for the old gate 2, old gate 3, and old gate 4. I know that a lot of people haven't made any new guides for this, so it can get a little bit confusing with the numbers, right? So hopefully that'll help you point you in the right direction. Now, after 1540 is going to be 1580. Of course, here you get hard Kayangel and normal Akan. And now this is about where this video ends. Akan came out pretty recently, so if the latest content that you haven't done is Akan, most likely you've already gotten all the updates and all the knowledge from before, and nothing much has changed since then. So there we go. That is now taking you from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention is they added this thing called Super Mokoko Express. And this is extremely helpful for anybody who is either returning to the game or even a new player, especially a new player actually, because with Super Mokoko Express, starting at 1415 item level, you can get a full set of engravings for free, all your gems for free, and it'll actually set you up with the correct stats and skills for your character with all the tripods. It's not like the ideal tripods, I'd say. Some of them are a little bit off from what's called the meta, but for the most part, it'll get you 90% of the way there. So if you're a new player or a returning player who is coming into the game a little bit confused about what character build to do, you can actually use the Super Mokoko Express, which is available for one character per account when you hit the end game. I think you just have to hit 1415 item level. When you hit 1415 item level, you can activate Super Mokoko Express, which will give you all of that stuff, all of your skills, all your engravings, all your stats, all your tripods, and all your gems as well. So it's very helpful for new players, and I definitely recommend you take advantage of that if you were always just like a little bit confused about the different classes and builds, and it was a little bit over your head, because the game just does that for you now. All right, so that is the end of this guide. Hopefully this helped you guys out who are returning players or new players jump into the world of Lost Ark and just make it a little bit less confusing, because there's a lot of systems in the game, a lot of changes since a lot of people have quit, and hopefully this helps clarify some of that. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know if this helped you. Let me know where you were before you quit Lost Ark, and hopefully again, if you like this video, remember to hit that like button, hit the sub button, ring the bell for notifications, and as always, I stream every night on twitch.tv/misosoup, as well as multi-streaming on YouTube starting at 10 p.m. PST. So if I don't see you guys on my stream, hopefully. I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace out.